What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. First of all, I am proud to announce that we are now working with hostile supplements. You guys can check out the link and the discount code in the description below. And please do check it out. That would really help support the channel. So let's start this video with none other than Samson Dauda. Another day closer to his third ever Miss Olympia. And I have to say whatever him and his wife has been doing, that is working extremely well for him. Because he looks to be in a great condition for 4.5 weeks out. Even his former coach, Milos Sarcev, tends to believe that Samson is gonna be at his all-time best this year. And that can be a game changer for him. So Milos has Samson beating Derek Lunsford at the Olympia this year. Which, by the way, is a very bold call. Because as per Milos, Derek is gonna drop down to 3rd place in his first ever title defense. So personally, I think it was a good decision for Samson not moving to Oxygen Gym Kuwait, especially with his wife coaching him. Just imagine for a second if Samson was actually there in Kuwait, especially in these final few weeks during his Olympia prep. There would have been too many cooks in the kitchen. But here him and his wife, they are in total control of everything. And if they are able to win or even place top 2, that is gonna be such a huge accomplishment. Now Milos must be given the credit on helping Samson put on a lot of size, especially in their time together. But one thing is very clear. When Samson was working with Milos, he was never truly peeled. I think his best look with Milos, that was the Arnold 2023, where he was able to beat Nick Walker. But his Arnold UK look this year, that was even better than that. And that was just after 2 weeks of Samson and Milos splitting up. So the Olympia this year, that will be a true representation of how the new package will look like. Because he had an off-season with his new coach, his wife of course. And from the way things are looking right now, Samson is about to bring his all-time best and possibly shock the entire bodybuilding world.
Even at this rate where I'm this tired and this hungry, this sleepy and all the whole shebang, I'm still gagging to go to the gym and go kill it. So yeah, I love this. I love this. I really do love this way I'm feeling this time, you know.
So next up is a bad news. Something that you as a fan won't like to hear this. Another top 10 Olympian from last year's Miss Olympia, Tonio Bton, won't be doing this year's Miss Olympia. Now how interesting is this fact? That all of the top guys from the second call out, 4 guys to be precise, Michael Krizo, Tonio Bton, Regan Grimes, and Charles Griffin, the guys who placed 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th last year, they are all out of this year's Miss Olympia. So only one man out of these 4, Michael Krizo, was forced to sit out because of an injury, while the other 3 guys, they had their own reasons, but none of these guys had any injury. So now let's talk about this decision that was made by Tonio Bton at 5 weeks out of this year's Miss Olympia. So in the long run, I have to say that is the right call, because after winning Cali Pro, Tonio Bton just did not have enough time to put on some solid muscle in order to improve on his Olympia placings. So he was top 8 at last year's Miss Olympia, and he wasn't even making top 10 in any of these Olympia predictions. And the reason was that he was just too small for this lineup. So if we add just 3 names, Nick Walker, Martin Fitzwater, and Rafael Brandao, and all these 3 guys, they comprehensively beat him earlier in the year. That alone puts Tonio Bton out of the top 10 this year. So we always compare Tonio to the legend Dexter Jackson. And Dexter too skipped the Olympia back in 2005. And eventually he became Miss Olympia in 2008. Now Tonio has some great genetics. Full round muscle bellies, very small waistline, huge sweeping quads, and he has a great back as well. So all he needs is more size overall. And I bet he is gonna be such a dangerous competitor the next time he steps on stage in 2025. The official UK Pro competitors list is now out. And I have to say, what a great lineup for the last Olympia qualifier for this year. We have 3 former Olympians in that list. And those are Andrea Presti, Patrick Moore, and Mohammad Nassour. So I'm sure most of us would be thrilled to see Andrea Presti in that list, especially after he delivered that phenomenal performance just this past weekend in Italy against Hunter Labrada. And even though that was a perfect win for Hunter, especially based on the scorecard, but the world saw how great Presti really is. I mean, the man is a 3 times Olympian for a reason. So Presti versus Patrick at this year's UK Pro, that will be so interesting, because both these guys are very aesthetic. They have very classic lines. But both these guys do not have the best legs in the business. Presti is a very big and a very wide bodybuilder, he takes up a lot of space on the stage. And unless Patrick Moore comes in with some tremendous size improvements, especially in comparison to his past looks, Presti is for sure gonna outmuscle him. I mean, he looks so overwhelming, standing next to a guy like Hunter Labrada. And Hunter was at his biggest there, so imagine how big Presti would look in comparison to Patrick or all these other guys as well. So we talked about Louis Breed yesterday, who is altogether a different bodybuilder. His strength is that hard granite looking muscle and rock hard conditioning. And he too has brought some insane level of conditioning in all these past shows that he did, especially this year. And I have to say, he looks even better now. He looks at his all-time best this time. So that is another guy who can definitely be in the mix. So great to see both Bruno Santos, the guy who finished third in Italy, as well as Lorenzo, the guy who finished fourth, and also made his pro debut last weekend. And I have to say that was a phenomenal pro debut, especially in that kind of lineup. So we can expect all these guys to make their first call out here in UK. So William Martins is another familiar name that you guys must know. The mass monster from Brazil. I mean, this guy is so densely packed, and he's packed with so much muscle. But anytime William competes, especially in a lineup which has a lot of aesthetic guys in there, against guys who have more streamlined and aesthetic looking physiques, he gets exposed and struggles big time because he has such a hard time with his midsection. And the reason is of course his wide waistline. So his money shot is the side chest. That is his best shot. And also his most muscular is just amazing. So he is another guy in that UK Pro lineup. So I have to say that is gonna be one hell of a last Olympia qualifier. So this show holds more importance because Patrick Moore is coming back to the stage after taking more than 1 year off. And he has made those claims that he is gonna be bigger than ever and better than ever. Personally, I think Presti has a great chance of getting his 4th Olympia qualification. But do let me know what you guys think. So Patrick Tour's caption that best describes what comes to everyone's mind after watching this 4.5 weeks out physique update of the reigning 212 champion Keone Pearson. So he is almost 6 pounds heavier right now compared to what Keone weighed at the same point last year. And I really feel bad for all the competition that is trying to beat Keone Pearson this year, because that kinda seems impossible at this point. So Sean Corrida is one of the greatest 212 champions of all time in this category. So his look back at the Olympia 2022, especially his peak at that show, that was true perfection. But the thing is, Keone is at a point in his career where he is finally coming into his own this time. And I do not think anyone out there, including Sean, has what it takes to beat this new version of Keone. I believe he is gonna demolish everyone the moment he walks out on that stage and hits that front double biceps. And honestly, his back is also looking twice as wide in comparison to last year. So he is feathered everywhere. And the scariest part is that we still have close to 30 days left until it is stage time. So just listen to these experts, Dennis James and Chris Cormier. They both agreed that if Sean comes in at his best versus Keone at his best, Keone wins all day.
If I look at him, who can even mess with that? As much as I like Sean Clarita, there's no way that he can be beat if he's in shape. Compare them both in shape. Who's winning?
I mean, I have to go with the champion.
Yeah.
Now, you know.
No, I mean,
So if Keone is able to bring an even better conditioning than last year, he isn't only gonna win, he is gonna make a big statement that he is truly untouchable for as long as he wants to stay in the 212. Just think about it. Sean is pretty much maxed out. He cannot afford to put on more muscle on his frame without blowing out his waistline. I mean, they did try it last year and it backfired. So Keone, on the other hand, he's getting bigger every year and his proportions just keeps on getting wild. So who really can beat this man, especially if he's on? So the link for the hostile supplements, that is also available in the first comment. Please do check it out, and that would really help support the channel. So please smash that subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.